Have you ever experienced a profound shift in your life after your spiritual awakening, where everything seemed to darken? It is as if people began treating you differently. The energy in the room felt off, and you suddenly became more sensitive to everything, from conversations to sounds, and even the way someone looks at you. This sensation can lead to thoughts of wishing you had not awakened at all. However, deep down, you know that is not the truth. There is an inner voice that tells you this discomfort, this heaviness, is part of the journey. By the end of this video, I will share a truth that most spiritual teachers hesitate to vocalize. It may be uncomfortable, but it is precisely why you are currently attracting negative energy. Once you grasp this concept, you will finally understand how to elevate yourself above it, not by running away, forcing change, or feeling distraught. But first, take a moment to pause. You have likely done significant work on your spiritual journey. You have meditated, shed tears, and begun to let go of old beliefs. Perhaps you have even experienced profound moments of peace or clarity. The stillness in nature when time seemed to stop, or that deep breath that assured you everything would be okay. These experiences are genuine, and they signify your awakening. However, after those moments, life continued on as usual. People did not change, your job did not transform overnight, and your relationships did not suddenly become healthy. Instead of feeling constantly at peace, you may have felt more exposed, drained, and sensitive. Let me share a story to illustrate this point. I once knew a man named Kamal who had been on a spiritual path for some time, mostly in silence. One day, during a silent retreat, he experienced a significant shift. He described it as seeing himself clearly for the first time, without fear, without judgment, just pure presence and awareness. When he returned home, he was glowing with newfound energy and expected life to feel lighter. However, within a week, his wife began snapping at him more frequently, his children acted out, and co-workers seemed unusually distant. He told me, "It feels like I lit a candle inside myself and now everyone around me is trying to blow it out." Does that resonate with you? The truth is, when you awaken, your energy undergoes a transformation. It becomes cleaner, lighter, and more open. Yet that does not imply it is stronger, at least not initially. In fact, during the early stages, you are more sensitive than ever. You resemble a fresh wound, still healing and trying to navigate the world. This heightened sensitivity allows you to pick up on the energy around you, particularly negative vibrations. Prior to your awakening, you may have ignored toxic energy, brushed off sarcasm, or laughed at dark jokes just to fit in. Now, however, these energies affect you deeply. This sensitivity is not a sign of weakness. It is a form of awareness. Your body, heart, and soul are now attuned to the energies surrounding you. You are no longer numb, and this awareness is a gift, even if it does not feel like one just yet. The challenge arises because most people around you have not undergone a similar awakening. When you arrive with your new frequency, calm, conscious, and quiet, they are often unsure of how to respond. You become a mirror, reflecting all that they have been evading, such as their anger, fear, and anxiety. As a result, they may unconsciously project their discomfort onto you. This is not a matter of right or wrong. It is simply that you have become real. Now, here is where things become complicated. If you are not grounded in your new energy, it can be easy to revert to your old self. You might start to doubt yourself, wondering, maybe I am too sensitive, or is this all in my head? This internal struggle can trap you, keeping you from integrating your awakening. So, how can you stop attracting negative energy and protect your peace after awakening? First, Stop taking things personally. Much of the negativity directed toward you is not about you. It stems from someone else's internal chaos. You might simply be the closest tree when the lightning strikes. Therefore, do not absorb their turmoil. Observe it and let it pass. You do not need to fix them, nor do you owe them an explanation. Just hold on to your center. Second, be relentless when it comes to your environment. If a specific room, group of people, or even a certain playlist on your phone makes you feel uneasy, it is perfectly acceptable to distance yourself. You do not owe your energy to anything that depletes it. Although this may sound selfish, it is a form of spiritual maturity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Just because you have awakened does not mean you are prepared to heal everyone around you. In fact, attempting to do so too soon is a surefire path to burnout. I once met a woman who felt a deep urge to save her family after her awakening. She wanted everyone to meditate, sent them crystals, and drafted extensive texts about consciousness. She even engaged in arguments when they did not understand. This obsession drained and embittered her. However, once she let go of the need to control, everything shifted. She began focusing on her own peace rather than theirs, and ironically, that was when others started to notice the change in her, igniting their curiosity. Truth does not need to be defended, it simply exists. Here is another piece of advice. Ground yourself daily. After your awakening, your energy becomes more open, which is beautiful, but it also means you are more vulnerable to outside influences. Thus, grounding yourself is essential. Walk barefoot on the earth, take salt baths, sit in silence with your hand on your heart, and consume grounding foods like root vegetables. Even sipping warm tea for 10 minutes while doing nothing can be beneficial. This is not indulgence, it is maintenance. You are no longer the person you once were. Your inner system requires new care. Additionally, be vigilant about your thoughts. After awakening, your mind does not simply turn off. In fact, it can sometimes become more pronounced, particularly when you feel vulnerable. It may whisper messages like, "You are not strong enough to handle this," or "See, nobody understands you." Do not succumb to that voice. That is not your higher self. It is your ego attempting to pull you back into the comfort zone. And comfort is not where growth resides. One helpful practice for me was to ask myself a simple question every time I felt attacked by negative energy. Is this mine? I would pause and tune into my feelings, and 9 times out of 10, the answer would be no. The energy I felt often belonged to someone else's anger, fear, or projection. Realizing this granted me power, because if it was not mine, I did not have to carry it. Let us delve even deeper. Sometimes the negative energy we attract is not merely from others, it also arises from unhealed aspects of ourselves. Yes, we awaken, but that does not mean we have healed everything. In fact, awakening often brings unresolved emotions to the surface. If you still harbor guilt, shame, or fear from your past, these feelings can act as magnets for more negativity, not as punishment, but as an indication of what still requires love. A man once confided in me that after his awakening, he continued to attract emotionally unavailable partners, which left him frustrated. He exclaimed, "I am awake now. Why does this keep happening?" I posed a question that altered his perspective. When did you first learn that love meant being ignored? He broke down, realizing he had been repeating a childhood emotional pattern. His awakening did not erase this pattern. It merely illuminated it. From that awareness, he could finally begin to heal. So, if you find yourself attracting negativity, ask yourself, what belief what emotion, what wound might still be resonating within me? What part of me continues to believe I deserve less than peace? This inquiry is not about assigning blame. It is about empowerment. When you identify the root cause, you can pull it out. Until then, it will continue to fester in your subconscious, attracting more of the same. Now, let us revisit the mystery I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the uncomfortable truth that many shy away from discussing. Here it is. You are not attracting negative energy because something is fundamentally wrong with you. You are attracting it because you are healing. This is not an indication of your brokenness. Rather, it is evidence that something within you is awakening, elevating, and refusing to accept a life of mediocrity. You are no longer in alignment with the outdated patterns of the world around you, which makes you different. Often, being different feels like a threat to the collective unconscious. This is why resistance arises against you, not because you are weak, but because you possess the strength to disrupt the status quo simply by being true to yourself. You are not losing your mind. You are not alone. You are not failing. You are shedding layers, releasing what no longer serves you, and remembering your true self. Therefore, the next time you enter a space and feel the weight of negative energy, pause, take a deep breath, and center yourself. Remind your spirit, I do not need to fix this. I merely need to maintain my peace. The more you practice this, the stronger your aura will become. Ultimately, the negativity will not be able to penetrate your energy. It will bounce right off. You will navigate through chaos with calmness, not because the world has changed, but because you have. And that, my friend, is the real power of awakening.